What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Today is the final day that we get the car prepped for the 8-hour drive up to the New Jersey Keys Auto Show. We got everything packed up. This is what we're gonna be focusing on today. I got a bunch of decals I gotta drop off over at Sensational. I've got this cap. If you guys remember, my front headlight washer cap actually came off when they ripped my bumper off at that inspection shop. I got a replacement one just for now. I have like a whole new front bumper and everything with the caps and all that out in the garage, but we're gonna have that stuff painted for the new setup, but I did order just a cap, so I don't just have like a cover piece of vinyl over it right now. It kind of looks booty, so we're gonna put this on the bumper today just so it looks a little bit better than what I have now. And then I also got a Uniden R3 radar detector. But yeah, this thing looks really nice. I've already looked at it. It comes with all the reference stuff in this sweet little case. And then inside of the case, you have this mount that goes on your windshield with the suction cups. And then it has this mount, which is like a more heavy duty mount, but this is gonna actually be stuck to the windshield, if that's what you want to do. And then there's also the wire, the cable that plugs into your cigarette lighter, which we're gonna be using because we don't have the hardwire kit yet. And then the actual radar detector. Looks dope. So I was watching tutorials all night on it, kind of figuring out how to set it up, how to use it. It's pretty straightforward, but there's so many features on it, so many cool features. So this actual drive up to New Jersey will be a good test to see how this thing works, how it performs. In addition to this R3 radar detector, I ordered a hardwire wiring kit, and it didn't come here in time for the actual drive up to the show, but I am gonna put this in the car and kind of use it on our way up to and from the show, and I'll kind of get a good experience on how it works. From what I understand, this is like one of the best radar detectors you can get. I got it on Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description. But I am excited because you know how those cops can be. They're always after us, and it's just good to try and stay protected when maybe we're going above the speed limit, even though, you know, I don't speed. But, you know, just in case I forget to look at my speedometer and I kind of go a little too fast, this will save us. So it's good to have one of these. For right now, obviously, it's not gonna be hardwired. We're just gonna put it up on the windshield and let that nasty cord dangle down. But whatever, as long as it's functional, that's all I really care about. And then this stuff, this right here, I have two pieces. One of them is the piece that broke inside of the bumper that actually connects to the fender liner, and the other one is an under tray. So I'm not sure if we're gonna put this on today before we drive up to the show, because the broken stuff that I have in there right now, nothing is really going anywhere. I have it tucked in tight enough that I'm confident on the way up to the New Jersey show, we should be okay. But wait, there's more. I think I already told you guys this, but I got that repair thrust kit for the steering rack. Gonna be doing this when I get back, as well as the Evolution Raceworks downpipe. So I went catted. I went with a catted downpipe. I didn't want to do the full catless deal, but I think this is going to be sick, and this will also allow us to go to stage 2 with boot mode. Huge shout out to Keys Motorsports for sending me this downpipe. When we get back from the auto show in New Jersey, we're going to put that on as well. And then these are just some nuts and bolts for suspension parts that I'm doing. So we got some fun stuff planned for at the show, on the way up to the show, and then when we get back to the show. I put the detector in the car already, and I actually also put wheel locks on the front because I didn't have any wheel locks, and I don't really know much about the place that we're going to, but I feel like I should just have wheel locks in the car. Now that I'm not running spacers, I can put my wheel locks back on. Yes, sir. So I mounted it kind of low. I didn't want it in front of this, but I mounted it a little bit lower so there's not like a longer kind of cable hanging down, and I just ran it down here for now. It's gonna be hardwired. Like I said, I'm gonna hardwire it into the back of this guy. And then there's also a mount that you can buy that actually clips into the mirror, which I'll eventually get, but it's expensive. It's like 140 bucks or something. I'm gonna wait to do that. I didn't need that right away. I just wanted the things I needed for this road trip, which is really just the radar detector. I don't really know a ton about this radar detector other than it's really good. The reviews are pretty much phenomenal. I watched a bunch of different YouTube videos on it, and now that they just released the Uniden R7, this R3 is a little bit cheaper. It's like $350 now. I think when it first came out, it was like $500. So it's dropped about $150 in total. And we're gonna give it the full test when we drive up to New Jersey, but I will kind of let you guys know what I think about it. Looks really nice. Super easy to set up. Obviously, you just plug it into the cigarette lighter. This cigarette lighter does go off eventually, so you're not draining power from the car, but just to be safe, I am gonna unplug it. It has a mute button on it, which is kind of nice, so I can just mute it right here anytime it's going off and I want to listen to it. It's got a bunch of different settings. You can dim the display, you can turn down and up the volume, highway, and all these crazy settings. I haven't dove into it enough. It's also got GPS capability, which is supposed to be really cool. So we're gonna give it the full test. All right, so it is definitely super hot, 100 degrees today in Charlotte. We're gonna go over to Sensational, get these few things done that we need to get done before we leave. I'm also gonna get one of my Avant-Garde wheels and put them in the back, because this car came with run flats, so it doesn't have a spare tire. Super annoying. I don't have a spare for it, so I'm gonna grab one of the Avant-Gardes just so I have something in case something happens. I don't wanna be stuck on the side of the road and depending on AAA to come and fix my flat. I got some tools I'm gonna bring, and then we'll just fix up the front bumper for the drive there, and we should be good. I'm gonna get coffee first though, obviously, dude. All right, so first thing I notice, it displays your mile per hour. It's kind of cool. From what I understand, you can change the way that the, I guess we'll just call it like the dashboard, the screen is set up. You can put like the time on it, the date, your mile per hour, highway, wherever you're driving, whatever mode it's in. And it seems that, I'm just driving down the road right now, it seems that the mount that comes with it that goes on the windshield, it's definitely sturdy enough. Like I'm not having any issues with it bouncing around too much. You can also bend the mount to make it point a little bit further up or down, however you want it. I think that that's a good place for it right now. I just put it a little bit off to the right because I wanted to run the cable without the cable kind of like wrapping around everything. Also, the cigarette lighter plug has a USB outlet, so if you wanted to plug like in a USB charger for your phone or something, you could do that as well. So you're like fully taking advantage of that actual cigarette lighter. I think it's a 12 volt. So my fuse was actually blown on the 12 volt, and it's the fuse 66 in the front diagram, which reminded me that I should bring extra fuses on this trip. Like I literally am bringing everything in case we break down. You just never know what to expect. And we have like 4 BMWs coming with us, which is just like a recipe for road tripping disaster. So I did contemplate whether or not I should like remove boot mode tune and like the trans tune, or the trans flash rather, for the drive up to the show, but I don't think I'm going to. Like the car drives fine. I think that boot mode pro tuning freaks could do a little bit of refining on the transmission flash. I don't think it's there yet. I think it's close. It feels really good, but I am still kind of noticing a bit of a delay between shifts. So I would just like to see boot mode offer other stages, like faster shifting, and even like slower shifting. So maybe just like a slow, medium, fast, or something like that. That's one of the things that I really like about XHP. They have different stages. And then also they tell you when you're in like your normal drive settings, they tell you like D1, D2, D3, rather than it just saying D. I think that that is an attractive feature that most people could get behind. All right, so we just pulled up to Starbucks, second home, which is right by Kohl's, and the radar detector started going nuts because in there they have lasers for the metal detectors. So I'm sure you guys know that, but radar detectors will freak out whenever you're like by department stores. So you can change the actual settings on the radar detector to be less sensitive or more sensitive, whatever style of driving you're doing. I have it on highway right now, so I'm assuming that it's gonna be more sensitive because you're not in like a city. You can change it to like city driving and it'll turn off some of that stuff. There's also all of like the K-band, KA-band, X-band, all this different stuff, laser. I don't know everything about that. I haven't looked into it, but I'm just going with the factory settings that are on the actual radar detector, kind of trusting Uniden. I'm pretty sure they do a decent job of setting this up right out of the gate for you, so you can just plug it in and play. There are some really good tutorials online though, how to set it up. People have like their ideas of what the best setups are, and you can just go in and plug everything on there how you want it to be set up. On top, they have a menu, power, and volume buttons, so you can turn it down right then and there, which is super convenient, as well as having the mute button down here. So if it just starts going off, you don't want to reach all the way up there, and you just hit the mute down here, turns it off. Coffees acquired. We are heading to the shop. Sensational. Lewis ordered a coffee frap, which I have never heard of and or seen. It looks like 20 ounces of sugar. I guess that's how he just stays pumped and wraps Lamborghinis all day, but it looks like a lot of sugar. Prepping for this drive, I did a little bit of research and I found out that radar detectors are illegal. They're illegal in Virginia. So we're gonna have to hide the Uniden when we go through Virginia, just kind of be crafty about it, I guess. I didn't see any other issues as far as having a radar detector, but Virginia is supposed to be really bad. We have to mind our P's and Q's, considering we have a caravan of BMWs all going up there. We're just gonna take it slow. A couple of other cool little features that this Uniden R3 has is, since it has GPS, you can actually mark where you see cops the most and it'll remind you. So when you go through those areas, it'll remind you, hey, last time you were through here, there were some cops. Be aware. And Uniden also updates the firmware for these, so they just perform better and better over time, which is awesome. I think you can also share the marks that you set up on GPS with your friends that have the same radar detector, which is just so cool. So I was looking at either getting the Uniden R3 or the Valentine 1, and I just, after reading all the reviews and obviously the price point, I decided to go with the Uniden. The Valentine 1 is a little bit more expensive. I think both of them are really, really great in terms of radar detectors, but ultimately I think Uniden was the way to go. All right, we just got to Sensational. Let's get Lewis his sugar. This thing is literally like a 20-ounce sugar. Look at that thing, oh my God. Here you go. Good, man, how are you?
Good to see you.
The control arms definitely brought the car down to the ground a little more. That fitment down. That's what it would be like if I was on bags. Should we bag it? Bag it. Bag it for sure, dude. Got the spare in here. Best looking spare in the world. That's the thing about these F30s, they come with run flats, so there's no room underneath the compartment down there to actually store a spare tire, but we're just gonna take the Avant-Garde. So I actually grabbed one of the other Avant-Gardes that we have stored up top, and it's bent. It's definitely bent, and that's why the car was driving so weird. Those other wheels, didn't even realize it. The wheel was totally bent. So those are pretty much out of commission. If I decide to ever go back to these, I'd either have to just buy a whole new set or buy a separate wheel or have the one repaired, but I don't even know if it's worth it to have that one repaired. If you guys remember before, this cap fell out and I was missing it, so I ordered a new one, and we just wrapped it and used like adhesive on the other side. We think it's gonna work. We think it's gonna work. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. And then for the inside, what I did was I have like a line of zip ties. Like I literally have a line of zip ties like all the way across just to hold this thing in. And this isn't bolted in, it's just tucked like behind here. That's what we gotta do in order to make it work just for this drive. I think it's gonna be fine, to be honest with you. Not really too worried about it. Shout out to Lewis, he made it happen. Man, Lewis staying busy over here. G-Wagon, RS7. This is Vinny's wife's car. I love this Volvo. Oh, dude, all stacked. It's got all sorts of stuff. Come up here. This is my loft. So this is where like all my spare parts are. Kind of using this as storage right now. Trunk spoiler. And this is the wheel that's bent. Dude, check this out. I don't know what I hit, but that sucker is bent. Moink. So that's why the car wasn't driving well. Obviously, that big ass bend. So options would be, if I ever wanted to go back to these wheels, I'd either have to get this repaired, if it is even repairable. I think it is though, or just buy a new wheel. But this is also the wheel that a shop ended up dropping while I had my car there, and they repainted it, but it just never was the same. Like the paint looks really bad. So I would just have the whole wheel redone, resprayed, fixed, repaired. know this was like just a total random vlog, but I wanted to kind of fill you guys in on the new radar detector. And I'm gonna do more updates, more updated videos once I live with the radar detector for a little bit. But I did just want to show it to you guys, show you how clean it was. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up. I cannot wait to see each and every one of you guys at the Keys Auto Show. Please make sure you come out. It's for a great cause and it's gonna be so fun. The next couple of vlogs are probably just gonna be us driving up, hoonigan antics. We have a whole caravan of BMWs going, so it's gonna be a fun time. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe, comment down below, like this video, hit that bell notification, just like that. This video is over, and I'm out. Peace.